Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in today. Today I want to talk a little bit about this photograph that I did of the Punisher. This was taken with my favorite Mezcos, one of my favorite characters, and so obviously I'm very biased about this figure. This is not the default version, I guess you could say. This head sculpt is different. This jacket did not come with the figure, and this is actually a different vest as well. People do ask me about those head sculpts a lot. I got this off of eBay. The seller's name is GP Slot. I also got the jacket from that seller as well. And I don't remember the name of the... I got this vest on eBay as well. I don't remember the seller's name. It came unpainted, so I had to actually paint it. But it's kind of a little more modern look. Oh, and sore subject. These holsters here I got from a seller whom I don't remember now. I wish I could remember just so I could call him out. But he used to print stuff like that, and apparently he left a lot of people hanging. He had a bunch of orders pending, quite a bit of money, and just kind of ghosted everybody. And he had been doing it for a while. It wasn't like he was some new, scammer or something. Because I had bought those holsters, and I had another vest I had gotten from him, and I had an order actually in for that exact same vest, and so I ended up losing, I think, about 55 bucks off of him. But there was, at the time, a lot of people complaining that they had $600 invested in stuff, because he was doing, I remember he was doing some, I think it was custom like Mandalorian soft good figure or something, I don't remember. But anyways, this is a photograph I took again with my probe lens, and I love the way I'm able to get that nice low angle on the shot. Just kind of, I don't know, something about that. I used to, when I only shot my 85, I would try to get out of the habit of shooting straight on. So I would sometimes shoot a little bit lower, sometimes a little bit higher. And, and that was fine. But with the probe lens, I guess because I'm able to get so much closer to the subject, and I just kind of discovered that really low angle. I don't know, something about it looks really cool. And shout out to Sergeant Bananas, because he was honestly just seeing his stuff when I realized he was using a probe lens, and I'd seen some of the angles he was shooting. He was shooting a lot of low angles like that as well. It has some really awesome photographs that are very realistic looking. That's what kind of got my wheels turning and making me think about getting one. And it was one of those things where it's I think I paid about $740 for that lens, so it's not cheap by any means. And there is another version that's even more expensive. But at first I was not 100% sure if I had made a good decision, but the longer I've had it and the more I use it for photographs, it gives me such a cool, unique look. And I don't know, you might honestly be able to get that same type of look with just a macro 28 millimeter lens, if that even exists. I don't really even know. I've not really looked at that kind of thing, but you could probably get a similar look with just a macro lens. Anyways, I do love that lens, and then I also use it for a lot of my video stuff on the B-roll. I put it on my motorized slider, and I love that whole shot of just kind of starting real close to the scene or the figure, whatever, just be able to pull back real slow and even go in past, say, characters or whatever, and be able to pull out past them. It's just a cool effect. It's a cool lens for sure. I'm not necessarily saying you should go out and buy one by any means. It just depends on how much you would use it, I guess. But for me, I feel like I'm using it probably about half the time I do photographs, and every single time I do breakdown videos to get some kind of B-roll for these videos, I'm using it. So yeah, I don't have any beef with it anymore. With the amount of money that I spent on it, I definitely feel like I'm getting my money's worth at this point. So anyways, for this photograph, really there was no specific inspiration. I don't really even remember what I was thinking at the time. So for me, I kind of have two, okay, so I have a few different processes. Sometimes I have a very specific thing in mind that I want to photograph, and so I feel like usually those end up being my better photographs. Then sometimes I just start playing around with the figure, posing him and stuff, and I'll come up with a pose that I really like, and I'll kind of build off of that scene. And then sometimes I'll look, get on the internet and look to at comic book art, stuff like that, for inspiration as well for scenes. I enjoy doing that, trying to recreate similar scenes. So those are usually where I get my ideas from. And this one, I knew I wanted to get that low angle. I kind of wanted that look like the Punisher's looking down at somebody, and I was able to still get, you know, a random figure's legs sticking out so you can kind of see, and it almost gives you that perspective like you're looking from through the eyes of the person who's on the ground. And then the background is, again, like I've been doing a lot lately, it's my television screen. And the more I play with this this Microsoft AI creator thing, the more I'm really enjoying having it create unique backgrounds for me, because in the past I spend a lot of time looking through photographs, trying to find, you know, just the right photograph to throw up on my TV screen, and I find that it's a big time saver just to go into this engine and, you know, say I want a dimly lit, you know, grungy back alley. You know, you can even tell it like the perspective that you want, which is actually very helpful and spits that out for you. So anyways, that's what the photograph in the background is. And then I just threw some of my props, garbage dumpster and some garbage and things like that to kind of help blend it all together. Hey, and I don't mean to sound redundant here, guys, but if you're still watching, I would greatly appreciate a subscribe, a like, thumbs up, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them for me. I will get back to you. And as always, I encourage any, you know, feedback or ideas or anything that you might want to see. All right, my settings on this, like I said, I use the 28mm macro probe lens. For those of you maybe watching for the first time, in case you're curious about the lens is by a company called Aster Hori. My aperture on this one was an f13, which again is the lowest you can go on that lens. My shutter speed was 1/3 of a second, and my ISO should be no surprise to you guys, 400. All right, I think that pretty much covers that. So let's go ahead and jump over to the behind the scenes.